Last count call, I want to start.
8 minutes in the slot.
Yes. I want to start by extending my welcome to those campaigners in the public gallery. Indicate that we will be voting for this motion. Last count, Corla, on the 7th of May this year, 120,000 people gathered at various locations throughout the state at 15 minutes past 4 o'clock in the morning. They walked and they ran 5 kilometres, crossing the finishing lines of the Darkness into Light events as the sun came up, raising money for the suicide prevention charity Pieta House. Interestingly, and I'll come back to this in a moment, in 2009, at the first Darkness into Light event in the Phoenix Park, I think about 200 people showed up. That shows a huge growing awareness and concern about this issue in society, which the parties of the political establishment have completely lagged behind in appreciating that and matching that with the funds that are needed. Last count, Corla, this week, the world-famous musician Bruce Springsteen published his autobiography, Born to Run. And one of the striking features of the autobiography is the searingly honest and frank description that he gives of his own battles with depression. On page 528 of the book, he puts it very well. He says, "Depression will steal your life. It will take it right out from underneath you by the things you do." And he talks about the effect that effective treatment has had on him. He said, "It gave me my life back, which was slipping away between my fingers due to the fact that I couldn't control my own anxieties and my neuroses." Now, Bruce Springsteen is a working-class hero, but he's a wealthy man now, and he has the money to access whatever services he needs. Many don't have that money, and many in this country don't have access to those services. And successive governments have let those people and let their families down. To illustrate that, current spending on mental health services in the state is €145 million less than it was at the start of the crisis, despite the fact that there's 400,000 more people in the state now. And as the motion puts starkly, there's no statewide 24/7 crisis intervention for adults' mental health service in the state. The Fianna Fáil Deputy James Brown, in his contribution, said that the programme for government means the full implementation of Vision for Change and warned that little things bring down government. I'd like someone from Fianna Fáil, before or after this debate, to clarify those points. What exactly are you saying? Are you saying that if in next week's budget Vision for Change is not fully implemented and the funds put aside to do that, you will bring down the government? Are you putting a timescale on it? Words are cheap, and we've seen services cut by the Deputy's own party in the past. So I'm looking for some clarification on what exactly is being said there. In conclusion, what I'll say is this, is that on April 28 this year there was a protest at the Dáil on mental health funding. 500 attended. It was small in comparison with Darkness into Light. But remember, Darkness into Light started with 200 people just seven years ago. What if the 500 who are outside the Dáil on 28th of April became hundreds of thousands? What if the 120,000 who participated in Darkness into Light this year were out on the streets criticising government and the political establishment and demanding funding for mental health services? If you think that that could not happen, I think that would be a very complacent thought to think. We need real increases in mental health spending. We need to start with the reversal of all of the cuts the provision of the Vision for Change monies that have been promised for so many years, and it needs to start in next week's budget.
Thank you, Deputy.